Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and we have some breaking news, and I will be chopping it up a bit with the language to get through the YouTube AI. Police arrest an armed man outside Justice Kavanaugh's house. An armed man arrested near Justice Kavanaugh's home in Maryland was charged with attempts to kidnap or extinguish his life, or threatens to harm, remove him from his home, and extinguish his life, the justice, according to a charging document in the case. The man, identified in the document as this person's name here, called Montgomery County Emergency Communications Center and told the call taker he was having particular thoughts of extinguishing his life, had a firearm in his suitcase, the document said. He also told the call taker he came from California to extinguish the justice's life, a specific United States Supreme Court justice. Now, of course, this all comes on the heels of what happened just recently with the leak in the Supreme Court, which has never happened in the history of the Supreme Court, which is very interesting. We are in the height of the midterm season, and as we have said here on the channel, and I tell you guys often, it's going to get wilder and wilder as we continue. Of course, as we know, they also introduced fencing around the Supreme Court, and the justices even had to cancel events due to left-wing group protests, which, of course, you probably guys aren't hearing a lot about. However, we're going to get an earful on Thursday about the Capitol 6 event. I did a video short today covering some of the highlights on that, and I'll probably cover that as a Friday vlog, so you guys will know. And, of course, we also know that the protesters did go to various homes of the justices. White House condemns threats after peaceful protesters, I doubt they're peaceful protesters, or a peaceful protest outside the home of Roberts and Kavanaugh. So these individuals were out there intimidating the judges and letting them know that they were out there, they were aware of where they lived, and so forth and so on, their comings and goings. And, of course, we also even talked about the specific law that prohibited this form of demonstration, or as they call peaceful protesting. Of course, they didn't identify that with what we saw on January the 6th. Code 18 U.S.C. 1507. It goes on to say that, of course, interfering with, obstructing, or impeding the administration of justice, or with the intent of influencing any judge, jury, witness, or court officer in the discharge of his duty, pickets or parades in or near a building housing a court of the United States. That also includes jurors, juror witnesses, and so forth. So we can see, of course, how he was treated during his confirmation hearing, as we recently saw the most recent justice who was called upon by the president because of the color of her skin, of course, as opposed to engaging in mediocrity. He could have framed that a whole lot better by simply saying that they were looking for another justice, and this particular person was the most competent. But no, he had to turn it into a CRT event. But not only that, of course, also, as I mentioned in the short, the Democrats, the architect of it all, Hillary Clinton, wanted to suggest that Fox News didn't want to cover the story of the Capitol 6 spectacle that will happen on Thursday because, of course, they said that Fox News likes their sedition fresh. But yet, this is the same person, Hillary Clinton, that perpetrated a fabricated Russian collusion story for 2.5 years. As we see here from Yahoo News, during the confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh, the Democrats pulled a surprise person out to smear this man in front of his family and in front of the United States and potentially the world. Kavanaugh accuser admits she fabricated allegations as a ploy for attention. No, she was manipulated by the Democrats to smear Brett Kavanaugh during the administration of President Trump. These individuals have reached a peak level that is absolutely obnoxious, disturbing, and despicable. As we see here with Brett Kavanaugh, this is continuing to break. I've not really checked any of the mainstream legacy media to see how much of it they're covering. I'm sure they'll probably mention just a little bit of it. But I can assure you that if this were what would be called a left-leaning justice, and of course you guys know I have a lot of issues with referring to them as Republican or Democrat or left or right, because the justices are supposed to implement law based upon the law, not their political views. But this is a breaking story that I wanted to bring to you guys, of course, because this is very serious. We're in the midterms. We know things are going to escalate. I would not have anticipated it'll escalate to this point, but at this point now, I can make no more assumptions because who would have ever thought there would ever be a leak from the Supreme Court? And then, of course, not particularly surprised that people will be outside protesting the justices, but that we have an individual here who wanted to go and harm this particular justice. And I'm sure he's not going to be made as big an example of as we saw just recently there in Uvalde, Texas. It's all escalating, is it not, ladies and gentlemen? Either it's an escalation of the media to create chaos, discord, and fear, of course, because that's the best way to manipulate and control people, because people are going to want to look for solutions. It's been argued that because of the chaos, because of the security concerns, that people have a tendency to lean more conservative for that sense of protection and value of individuals that would be trying to protect them in these instances. And that's what I had for you guys today. I want to thank every one of you who have been watching the channel lately here in 2022. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments, those of you on BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, DTube. Thank you for your guys' continued support. And of course, appearing right there on the screen, that would be the channel icon to click on to subscribe to the channel, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel, particularly the video shorts. I hope you guys are enjoying those. And I will see you guys in the next video.